Dear class of 2015, what do you think is a more important symbol of what Jesus did for us? The cross or the empty tomb? The cross was his love laid down, and the empty tomb is his love laid down, but also what his love can do for us and his fulfilled promise to us. Right now is such a pivotal time. We've been told over and over again, let your faith be bigger than your fears, but it's so much easier said than done. Despite the never-ending fears, I find deep comfort in knowing that Christ's love can overcome any fear I may have. Jesus proved himself stronger when he got up and walked out of a grave that was supposed to seal his fate forever. Guys, Christ's love can overcome anything that we may fear. People, it doesn't matter what we're going through. The power of Christ's love can overcome anything that we may be going through. Literally, any fear is nothing for God. The power we have through him is beyond anything your mind can even begin to wrap around. A lot of the time when we're called to have faith in Jesus, we start to think things like, oh no, what if he doesn't come through for me? But I'm here to tell you that he already has. God has already come and defeated your fears for you. It's not like something that hasn't happened yet. What you're afraid of has already been conquered. And I think that's what our Christianity is all about. It's not just how Jesus came and died for us, but what makes it special is that Jesus died and came back to life for us. He defeated evil for us. And every time we feel afraid, God knows exactly where we're coming from. Even Jesus experienced it. You know, in Jesus' last few days, he was just so afraid because he knew what was coming for him. And he said, God, I am so afraid right now, but let your will be done, not mine. It's having faith like that makes going through life so much easier. So as all of us Catholic school kids know, Jesus died and rose 3 days later, but the thing that we really fail to recognize is how the tomb is empty. Jesus is not in there. There is no one in there. Regardless of our ever-present worries, this obvious fact is a sign of so much hope. We aren't putting our faith in a God that just died for us, but a God that died and won for us. He's already done it. It's a message from the Lord saying, look what I did for you. I'm far greater than any obstacle put before me. Any child of mine that walks with faith in me can know that I've already crushed the worst of the worst and nothing can stand before me. Because that's who I am, the only power source that you can turn to who can take something terrible and scary and turn it into something beautiful and have you walk out with victory. That's who I am. That's what I can do for you. Guys, trusting our faith to destroy our fears isn't always easy, just like how carrying a cross with a crown of thorns wasn't easy either. But it's all about seeing what our Savior has done, the Savior who only wants amazing, joy-filled experiences for us. Through the resurrection, you can have faith and know that the Lord has already gone before you and fought your fears for you and pushed them aside to make room for you. He wants you near him. All you're called to do is come up alongside him. When you cling on to God's hand rather than the claws of this world, you open your hands up for blessing. You know, God tells us that, the amount of faith we have, we're going to receive that back. The amount of blessing you have is the amount of the faith that you give God. If you open up your hands for blessing, he will give it to you. You just have to trust him. Class of 2015, all of you guys need to be the one to decide who you're going to turn to when you're afraid. It's so easy to get caught up in our fears because we can see them. They're so tangible in front of us. It's so of our godless world. But we need to have faith, requiring us to trust in what we can't see because we know that through Christ and through God, we can do anything and he can defeat anything put before us. Jesus has already destroyed the forces that don't want us to have a lovely, worry-free life like God does. We need to cling to the faith that God is greater than any obstacle set before him, and with him, we can make it through. Just like how he did with Jesus, he can take something that seems awful and make it something so beautiful and give it a new redemptive life. Really try to recognize that when he died, yes, of course he did that for you, but think that when he rose again, he did that for you too. He won for you. And I mean this not in the global aspect like everyone, but like the personal aspect. He sees your fears and he wants to walk with you through them. He wants to take you through them and crush them and destroy them so you can have a fun, awesome life. Class of 2015, our time left here is so short and our time together is so short too. We don't have time to have anxieties and worries in this life that God defeated death for. He destroyed death so that we could have an awesome life and just enjoy ourselves. We're not called to worry. We're called to have faith and trust. The battle is over. The Lord has won. All we have to do is trust him in the same way that Jesus did. We just have to give it to him, guys. It's not hard to trust. You can't look around at the world and let everything bring you down. It's like you have to look up and trust what God tells us, that he's going to bring us through it. Every time you feel afraid, remember that he is with you and he is saying, I am here, I'm here for you. He wants you to live a life free of bondage and just so vibrant, and he just wants you to just go into every single day just excited because you know that nothing bad's going to happen. Next time you feel afraid, don't only look to the cross for his love, but look to the empty tomb as a sign of what his love can do for you and what his love can defeat for you. John 16:33. Jesus said, I have told you these things so that in me you may have peace. In this world you will have trouble, but take heart, I have defeated the world.